In this video, I am going to discuss about various work holding devices. Work holding devices are the one where you have to have a provision for holding your work in your lathe, drilling or boring machine. So basically we can classify this into many terms. So first we will be looking into work holding devices of a lathe. So the first one shown here is your lathe center. So the work to be turned between the centers must have center hole drilled at each end. So it acts as a support during cutting. So this lathe center will be placed in your tailstock and your work will be clamped in your chuck. So that if your length of your work is very big, it has to support in the other end. So that is the purpose you use this lathe center. The second one are mandrels. It is a flanged or tapered threaded bar that grips your workpiece to be machined in a lathe. And then comes your chucks. You know that normally chucks will be there in your headstock where there are many different types of chucks available. The first one here is your 3-jaw chuck. So it is for holding cylindrical stock centered for phasing, center drilling, etc. And the next one is your 4-jaw chuck. It is an independent chuck where all the 4 jaws will be operated separately. So it can be adjusted individually by means of chuck face and adjusting screws. And the next one is your collet chuck. It is used to hold very small workpieces. And the last one is your magnetic chuck, where thin jobs which can be held by using this magnetic chuck. But the only thing here is your work also should have a magnetic property. And then we are going to discuss about lathe dogs. So lathe dogs, it is a standard bent tail lathe dog. It is most commonly used for round workpieces. So safely clamped lathe dogs is used to hold variety of work and has wide range of adjustments. And clamp lathe dog has wider range than other and are used for all the shapes. So far we have discussed about the different work holding devices of lathe, and now we are going to see about work holding devices of drilling. In drilling, the first one we are going to see is about drill vise, where it holds the work between the fixed and the movable jaw. A manual screw operating mechanism will be used to apply the force and clamp the work. In the second picture, we can see the T-bolts, clamps and step block. T-bolts and clamps, it is used for fixing the work on the table, and step block, it is used to maintain even height with that of the work to make it easy for clamping. So the next we are going to see is about angle plate. It holds any angular work in the table. The V-block and C-clamp in the next picture shows like it is used for holding cylindrical shaped work, and U-clamp, it is for clamping the work when a cylindrical shaped work is placed on your V-block. So these are all the different types of work holding devices which are placed in your drilling machines. And finally we are going to see the different work holding devices of boring. So first you can see about the T-clamp or T-bolt. You can see here the work may be supported on the table by using a conventional work holding device or by a special fixtures. So in conventional work holding devices, it comprises of this T-bolt and clamp and even angle plate, step blocks and jigs. So these are all being present in your boring material to hold your work in your boring. So the jigs are located the work and support and guides the boring bar. So these are all how the work holding devices supports for holding your work in boring machine. Thank you.